Hi, I'm Sean Zerillo from the Action Network, here to get you set with my favorite bets for Tuesday, August 1st. We're going to look at the New York Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays, and I like the under 8.5 in this matchup. Would bet that all the way down to about 8 at minus 103. Projected this total closer to 7.7 runs, and a lot of it depends on how you view Carlos Rodon in his return from the IL. The first 3 starts back, stuff plus, command down significantly compared to where he was last season, but I believe he's just working his way into the season and into his 2023 form. In his last start, strikeouts and walks still not quite where you want to see them. 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, but the stuff plus metrics did come back to where he was last season. 115 in that start, 114 last year, 108 in his first 3 starts of the year, and his fastball and slider, which are his 2 main pitches, essentially came back in line with where they were last season as well. So provided he can maintain that level of stuff in his arsenal and continue to show that improved command with his first pitch strike rate and his zone rate both spiking in that last outing, I think Carlos Rodon can pitch closer to where he was last year and closer to where projection systems would have him, somewhere between a 3 and 3.5 ERA the rest of the way. Zach Eflin, a guy I bet on a ton this season, both his money line and supporting his unders. And I like the under in this matchup, as I said, down to about 8.5 at minus 122 or 8 at minus 103. Turning our attention to the Kansas City Royals and the New York Mets, you have to be very careful with which teams you're backing today on the money line based on which players they might be shopping for before the 6 p.m. trading deadline. But the Royals not necessarily a team who I think can impact their own chances significantly by dealing anything of interest prior to Tuesday's deadline, whereas the Mets might firm their roster to a slight degree, potentially subtracting more bullpen pieces or outfield depth with Tommy Pham potentially getting traded. So keep an eye on the deals that these teams might make before 6 p.m., but I'm comfortable betting the Royals where the money line is currently. Projected them closer to plus 116, would bet that down to about plus 125. Fastball velocity for Jose Quintana this season, down a tick. He's only had 2 starts since coming off of the IL, had a late start to his season like Carlos Rodon after suffering a spring training injury, but his fastball velocity down, his stuff plus metrics are down, and the Royals are actually hitting over the past couple of weeks. 102 WRC plus over the past 14 days. Bobby Witt has been 60% above average in the month of July. I think the Royals are finally hitting for the first period that they have all season after essentially ranking as a bottom 3 offense against lefties and righties the entire season. But Quintana, just a reduced form compared to where he was last year, and the pitch modeling metrics actually support Zach Greinke as the better pitcher, even though his ERA and expected ERA are both at a career high. But the Royals on the money line for me at plus 125 or better, in addition to the Yankees under my favorite bets for Tuesday's slate.